So my name is Kimberly Beer, and I have been an authorized local expert and solution provider with Constant Contact for it'll be 7 years in September, and I'm really excited about that. The reason why I got involved with Constant Contact was because I was already using them to help my clients, which were small businesses. My business is Midnight Productions Incorporated, and it is geared towards helping small business owners be really successful with their marketing. And one of the ways that I know to do that, and it's become more and more obviously important over the last few years, is email marketing. And for my client base, which are those smaller businesses, Constant Contact is absolutely the most perfect fit. Um, but here's the thing that I find a lot of people don't know how to use email marketing. So part of my mission with Constant Contact is to teach you how to actually use the tools. So earlier today, I taught a getting started class, and I hope that those of you who have not been to that class will maybe come to it in the future if you're not using the new editor, or if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say drag and drop next generation editor. Possibly pop by my website at kimbeerseminars.com, go to upcoming events, and sign up for my next Getting Started class. You might learn something even if you've been using Constant Contact a while. But in order to send out emails, in order for that part to work, we got to get people onto our list. And so in today's class, we're going to be talking about using list growth tools. Constant Contact understands the importance of maintaining your list, of getting people to join your list, of getting people signed up, and of creating lists and segmenting your list into certain areas. And so they've created an entire tab of tools that are there to serve you in this process, but very few people click on it and actually utilize those tools. Now, before we dive into all of this, and I'm going to show you all the amazing things that Constant Contact has provided you with the ability to do, please understand that they've set up a lot of this in advance for you with very generic text. So when you told Constant Contact the name of your business and your phone number and your address and your email address and all of that, they used that information that you provided them to create some generic emails for you. So like a generic welcome email, a generic list sign up, a generic everything that I'm going to go over today. So you don't panic because all of that stuff is taken care of for you. But it's always a good idea to customize that, to brand it, to make it more of you. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to click on list growth tools here at the top. There's also a link over here to the right as well, but I'm going to just use the top one. This is where all of these little magic tools happen to appear. So the first and easiest way to get people into your email database is through a sign-up form. So I'm going to make this just a little bigger for you. I have this beautiful large screen, but it tends to not translate as well on webinars as I would like. So a sign-up form is just a way for people to be able to get onto your list. And you can use your sign-up form in a multitude of places. You can put it on your website. You can take the link and put it in the footer of your regular emails that you send out, which is a big thing that I always tell people that they should do. Every email you send, every one-off email you send is an opportunity to market your business. If not to the person you're sending it to the person that they're going to forward it to. So it's always a really good idea to have your sign-up forms everywhere you possibly can. All right. So the sign up form that is generic with your Constant Contact account is right here under sign up forms. And then to edit it, you're going to click on the actions panel or actions drop down here and click on the word edit. Before we do that, I'm going to click on the word preview. And I'm going to show you what the completed form looks like. So for those of you who've been with me before, you know a lot of my demonstrations center around using the Kansas City Pet Project as an example of what we might want to do, because I find it's often easier to teach with examples than it is just random demonstrations. So I created a sign up form for the Kansas City Pet Project. And now we're going to go back and learn how to edit this form. And then you're going to go to your own account and be able to do this yourself. So on that actions button where I found preview, I'm going to go ahead and click edit. And there are three basic tabs with information that I need to provide constant contact to customize my form. Now, again, when you come to this tab, you're going to find really generic information. It's going to say sign up to keep in touch and a basic little paragraph for a description here, and it'll go to your general interest list. But you want to customize that. So in the form title, add something that is really cool there. It's what appears across the top of the document. Then here under description, tell people what is going to be happening with your emails. What are they going to be receiving when they sign up for this list? Now, this is your general sign up form. You can actually make multiple sign up forms for constant contact that go to different segments of your list. So for those of you who are into advanced email, you've heard of drip campaigns and autoresponders and automated campaigns. You can create a form that drops people into that automated campaign process. And in the description, you will tell them what they're signing up for. So let me give you an example of how that might work for the Kansas City Pet Project. Let's say we have someone that is adopting a dog from the Kansas City Pet Project. And part of the Kansas City Pet Project's mission is to make sure that dog stays in the home that adopts it. And a lot of times dogs that come from the shelter need some help. That person needs some education, some basic obedience training, some things that they need to watch for, a reminder to take the dog to the vet. These are all standard things that the Kansas City Pet Project would send out. Well, they can create a sign-up form for the people who are interested in receiving that information and point that to a list that goes to an automated email series. Make sense? So that's advanced email. Back to our basic one. For our basic sign-up form, what you want to do here is tell people what they're going to receive and the frequency with which they're going to receive it. The number one reason people unsubscribe from your email list is not because you send emails too often. It is because they either didn't expect to receive them that often, or because the content is no longer relevant or is not relevant, ever was irrelevant to them. So make sure in your description, you tell them what they're going to get. For example, get the latest news on adoptions and volunteer opportunities with our bi-monthly newsletter. Whoop. That pretty well tells them what that they're going to get. So how often you're going to send, what's going to be included. And if you have more than one list that you're going to let them choose from, make sure that you describe those lists so that they know exactly what they're signing up for. When you have segmenting your population or segmenting your list is a really important component in very targeted marketing, which is a huge trend as we move forward through social media marketing and email marketing. So you can create public lists. Now, the lists that appear here are all of your lists, but you can create public lists and let people choose which one of those lists or multiple lists that they want to belong to. If you don't want them to choose, in other words, you only want them to be on one list, let's say in the example of that autoresponder where we only want them to go to one place with that sign up form, then simply select one list. If only one list is selected, then the people that are filling out the form will not have any choice in what list to subscribe to. It will just simply subscribe them to that list. So we're going to change that and just leave it as general interest. So that's our first three questions. Now we're going to continue and go to our next one. And that is what contact information that you want to collect from the people who have this form. So this is one of those places where there's pros and cons to every single thing that you do. Obviously, in order for people to receive emails, they have to give you their email address. So that's a no-brainer. You have to ask for that. Now, what you ask for above and beyond that is up to you and how much that you want to know about your customers. But there is a place in there where your customers will not be comfortable with giving that information. And so you will get more information so you can better target, better communicate, but your subscribers will be less likely to subscribe. So there's two trains of thought about that. One is that if they're not willing to give that information, they probably wouldn't be a good client choice for you. Or the other one is that you want them to start getting information from your organization and make up their minds for themselves. So you'll take whatever the least amount of information it is that they're willing to provide. So you can choose a variety of things. I recommend that you at the very least collect their first name. Personally, this is exactly the information that I try to collect on my forms. Email, address, and first name, those two are required. In other words, you can't click submit unless you give me that information. And then I suggest that you give me the last name and a phone number. The phone number for me is important because if I, as a business for my marketing business, if I see that you open a lot of my emails or interact or click, I want to be able to pick up the phone and reach out and call you to talk with you about what maybe more I could do for your business. It's not necessary for everyone. So additional fields that you can choose from include things like addresses and companies and websites and birthdays and anniversaries. If you have a business that centers around those, let's say you're a florist, birthdays and anniversaries are incredibly important. And then you can also include other types of things. Like I have several other list pieces of information here that I can ask people to provide for me. And I can click those in here by clicking on add. These additional fields, by the way, they come up underneath my contacts area, and I get to those in a different webinar. All right, so if I want to add something more, all I have to do is check it. If I don't, let's say I want to add birthday, I just click add. If I don't want to make that required, I just simply do not check mark this. If I want to, it needs to be check marked. That way they can't move forward until they provide that piece of information. All right, next step would be our logo and then our colors for our email. Now on our logo, I'm going to go ahead and trash the one that's there. They want the file size to be 300 by 100 pixels. And so I'm going to choose just a small file here out of my library that's a logo. And I know it's not going to be the right size. I keep trying to remember to go back and do this, and I keep forgetting. But I'm going to try to grab one here that I think will work. And let's try this one. I don't even see anything showing up there. This is like I said, sometimes the internet doesn't always cooperate with us when it comes to our emails here. Whoops. Let's try this one. So that's 300 by 220. So I'm going to go ahead and make it 100 and click on insert. And I don't think it's going to show up just due to the internet. If you don't want a logo, you can just leave it off, but do try to remember the size wise. I'm going to go ahead and leave it off and click on preview form. All right, I have a broken link there, so I would probably want to go back and click on save. But basically, this is what I created. So I left the sign for the birthday, and you'll notice the list selection went away. So back here, I'm going to click on finish, and that takes care of that form. Now, the one that I was working on is the generic one. It's the one that is used in the signups, and we're going to get to that in a moment here. That's the one that Constant Contact will put out whenever it's the sign up form for anything that is generalized. So it is here under sign up form. You can also create additional sign up forms for different web pages, for different events, for different things that you are doing. And to create a new one, you just hit that orange create button and go through those same steps that I just went through to create your new sign up form. Some reasons you might want to create a sign up form is you might want to have one that's specifically for an expo that you're doing, or you might have one that is specifically for as an event that you are doing. So people sign up for that specific event. If people are already on your list and they utilize that sign up form, it will sign them up to whatever list is that sign up form is being directed to, or let them self-select whether or not they want to be on that specific list. Now, as far as unsubscribing is concerned, this update profile form is really, really important. It's the second step of a sign up form. It allows people to self unsubscribe from some of your lists and not everything. So down at the bottom, it lets you update your profile. Every email that's sent out lets people unsubscribe and then update their profile. And so you want to make sure your update profile form has the lists selected that you have publicly let people be able to add themselves to, and now you want to let them publicly remove themselves. So you want to make sure you have those selected. And then here's the preview form. Of course, all of the update contact fields can be available to this because it's letting them update their information. And then they can unsubscribe from all mailings or continue to receive occasional mailings based on which of these forms that they click. So again, these things are set up for you automatically within Constant Contact. So there is an update profile form, and it basically lets them unsubscribe from everything, but change their phone number or their address or their email address if that's something that they want to do. So those two forms are really important forms, and I do recommend that you customize them and then create whatever additional sign-up forms you need. Now, once you have your forms created, there are a multitude of ways that you can be able to use these forms. So one of those ways is with the form URL. So I'm going to grab that for us real quick, and I'm going to copy it and go to a web page and paste and go. And that's going to be able to pull up our form. So this is really nice. If you want to be able to send someone an invitation to join your list, that's exactly the URL that you can use. With that said, that URL is incredibly long. So you can use a link shortener. I like Bitly, so it's bitly.com. Bitly is free. There is a paid version, I think, and they try to get you to pay for it, but you can do a free version. And what you do is you just create a bit link, and it's going to offer me the opportunity here to paste a long URL in. So I'm going to create a bit link, and I can paste my URL in here, and then it'll give me a shortened link. I've already done this about 1,000,000 times with this. So you can look here and see there's a bit.ly link. You can even customize it so it's something that you can remember. And what's really cool about this is it lets you see where your referrers are coming from. In this case, it's dark traffic. That sounds very ominous, doesn't it? Bitly is a really good link shortener to use. There are others out there, so you can feel free to use whatever it is that you're using for your organization. But that gives you something that you can hopefully remember. So if you're out and you want to be able to email somebody your sign-up form, you can do it from memory, which this would be impossible to do. All right, so that's the link sign up form URL. There are also a couple of other ways that you can utilize the sign up form. One is through a button. Now you can add a button to your website. You can add a button to any place where you can put HTML. And you can style your button. You can make it look like your organization. So if you want to change it to blue with white type, and you want to give it rounded corners, and you want it to say join VIP list instead of sign up, you can change the button to be what you want it to be. Next, you would want to get the code for that button. And then this is the HTML. And so anywhere where you can put HTML in, you just drop this in, and it takes them directly to that particular sign-up form. So it takes them to this sign-up form. Every one of these sign-up forms has the same drop-down menu. So you can put that sign-up button to go directly to like an expo sign up form. So maybe you have a page or an ad on an expo website. So you can click, send them that button HTML, and they can put it directly on there. Another thing you can do is get embed code. So embed code is where you can take the code and paste it into a page on your website, and then that becomes like a page just on your site that you can link to. So any place that you can put embeddable HTML on your website, you can include this embeddable form. If you have a WordPress website, the way that you do that is by going to the page that you want to put it on, then clicking on the text tab. You don't want the visual tab, you want the text tab, and then putting it into that and then testing it. I recommend that anytime you use the embeddable sign up form HTML that you do test it before you tell everyone to go to that page, just to make sure everything works smoothly and it displays correctly. We have had a little bit of difficulty on a couple of different themes. WordPress and websites are something that are a constantly moving target for anybody who does development for them. So please understand that all of this stuff, when it comes to embedding HTML into themes on WordPress, things can get sticky, which is why Constant Contact has developed a WordPress sign-up form plugin that's right here under the More Tools. So if you're using WordPress, I recommend that you click on this. It's going to open up a separate form and tell you about a plugin that is available to put Constant Contact sign-up forms directly on your WordPress website. If you're using some other type of website designer that allows you to use HTML, then you want to use the embeddable code. If you work with a website designer, you can grab this embed code, and you can send it directly to them by copying and pasting it into a text document and then saving as text, not as HTML. There is a wonderful little frequently asked questions thing on embed codes that is on Constant Contact's website that you get to by clicking on that frequently asked questions little link. I'm going to drop that into your chat box right now, just in case you want to be able to right click and go there later to learn about how embed forms work. I personally, we use strictly WordPress here to develop websites in, and we use the WordPress sign up form, or we use something like Opt-in Monster, which also works with Constant Contact, where you can create like pop-ups and pop-overs. And I know that a lot of people hate that. I hate them too when I go to a website and it pops up and asks me to join a list. But here's the bottom line to that. You get more subscribers. It works. There's a reason why every website does it, is it works. And if you as a subscriber, if you're really truly interested in working with that company, it's really not an annoyance, it's a convenience. And you're able to enter your information and bam, you're subscribed. So that works really well. All right. One other thing in this area is a QR code. For most intents and purposes, QR codes are kind of dead, but there are the occasional people and there's the occasional industry that loves to use them. So if you don't know what a QR code is, a QR code is this funny little alien bit of square that you can scan with your phone as long as you have the app to do so, and it will take you to a specific website when it is scanned, or in this case, your sign up form. So all somebody has to do is have the app on their phone, hesitate their camera over this symbol, and it'll take them right to your sign up form. And you can choose different sizes of QR code and download it, and then you're able to utilize it in your print marketing to get people to sign up right on the spot. It's very handy to use if you are at an expo and you want to sign people up. The only problem with QR codes is that nobody really knows about the app. So you almost have to do more explaining than the time it would take to write down their email address on a sign up form. So it depends on the audience that you're going for. Sometimes that works great. Sometimes it doesn't. The next thing I want to tell you about is the text to join or text to sign up. And this is something that I do use and I absolutely love. And to set it up is so super simple. So you just click on text to sign up, and basically what this is, okay, there's why my images weren't working. But the text to join is like really simple. They text a word. So you give a keyword and it goes to a number. It's not necessarily a phone number. It is a little text code number. And then the text that triggers a text message to come back. That text message has a request for their email address. So in this case, in this example, what it says is you text the word Kim Beer to 22828. And when that text is received, it will send back a message that says, this is to join our VIP list. So you're a VIP, great. Reply with your email address and we'll put you on the list. I hate calling it an email marketing list. Nobody wants to be on the email marketing list. Everybody wants to be on the VIP list, right? So you select what list that you want them added to. And then after they have been added, so after they send their email address, text it back, then they get a response back that says, it's official, you're a VIP with us. So you do have to select the list. You do have to edit these two areas. There's generic text in there for you that you can just utilize, and then click on save. And it processes and it's done. And Constant Contact even makes a little sign for you with your keyword and the number that you can print out and put in your booth or wherever else you would like to utilize it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on done there. And close this big red warning. All right, so now back to our list growth tools area to discuss one more thing, and that's the sign up form for Facebook. So I'm going to pop over here and show you what that exactly means. And then I'm going to tell you there's more than one way to, as my mother would say, skin a cat, which is a horrible image, but it tells you there's more than one way to do something. And I want to show you more than one way to get people to join from your Facebook page. I think one of the biggest problems I see with people using or getting people to sign up for their list is that they don't utilize the audience that they've built on Facebook. Facebook allows a really simple way for you to interact with a brand, but it's also not a very intimate way. And the way Facebook kind of filters business posts through to people who follow your business page means that they don't see a lot of it. And in order to really get a better relationship with them, we want to get a better relationship with them by getting them on our email list. So there's a couple of ways that we can go about doing that. One is using this join my list button, which is right here. It moves. It's an app, by the way, a Facebook app, not a Constant Contact app. But it pops up here on this particular area now, and you can click on it and it will take you through the processes to join somebody's email list. So I've already joined, so it's already on there. So I'm going to go back home. So to set that up in your Constant Contact, you're going to go to your growth tools and you're going to click on Facebook sign up form. There are a couple of things you need to do before you click that button. One is you need to be the administrator of a page on Facebook, of a business page. If you're not an administrator or it's not an actual page, this won't work. It has to be a business page and you need to be the administrator. And I don't know if editor is enough of a role, but you have to be an editor or administrator on that page in order to be able to add that particular button. But here's the thing. That only works when people go to your Facebook page. Typically, once people like your business, they don't go back to your Facebook page. So to collect all of those people who have liked your page over to your email list, it's a really good idea to run a sign up list campaign on Facebook. And to do that, you're going to come over here and you're going to grab your form URL. Remember that long URL? You can grab the long one, or if you created a shorter one in Bitly, you can get it too. I'm going to come back to my Facebook page and I'm going to click on a new post. I'm going to right click and paste, and I'm going to paste that form URL in. And then I'm going to press my space bar and I'm going to be patient. And it's going to drop in a little window here where I can add an image. So I can click here and add an image. And I can also edit this. I can say join our VIP list. By the way, the information that it puts on here is that information that you put on your sign up form. So you remember where we had the headline and the title. So I want to be able to keep that. Once I have this the way I want, I can actually delete that link. Facebook will let me do that. And then I can type a call to action and benefits for joining right here in my Facebook post. I would then hit publish. And my recommendation is that you throw a few dollars behind this and do a boost so that more people on your current page see it and hopefully sign up for your email marketing list. So again, don't call it that. Call it a VIP list. All right, I'm going to close this out. Exit so I don't actually accidentally post that on my photography page. So we've talked about all the different various ways that you can get people on your list. But there's another thing you need to do beyond that, and that is welcome those people to your list once they sign up. Because once you have them signed up, that's only part of the battle. Now we want to nurture that relationship. And usually the first step with that is a really nice little welcome email. And we can get to that here with our welcome email. So I'm going to click on it. And that's going to take me to my welcome email or to my campaigns. And it'll be here under automation. So I'm going to click on automation, and there's my welcome email, which is currently inactive. So I'm going to go ahead and edit it. And the new welcome emails are all edited now in our next generation editor for Constant Contact. So if you haven't used the next generation editor, this is a perfect opportunity to get a little bit of experience with it. It is so super simple to use. You're absolutely going to love it. So this is just basically a really nice little hello, thank you for joining our list. And all I did here was put in a logo, a little bit of branding, a nice thank you. This image was already included, and then a little piece of text. If you haven't seen this editor before, it's really simple to add things. So if we wanted to add a cute little picture of an animal, all we have to do is grab the block from the left, bring it over onto the palette, hesitate where our magenta line where we want the image to appear. Then that puts the placeholder in. Now I'm going to grab that, click on Insert Image, and then I'm going to pick something out of my library here. Let's go ahead and pick this smiling face of the administrator for Constant Contact. I'm going to click on Insert. And I'm thinking that's not going to appear. Hold on. Oops. This may be part of the image issue thing. Insert. Okay, it's not going to appear. We'll try drag and drop from over here. So I'm thinking it probably isn't going to work because of the nice big red warning sign that we got earlier, but know that it's really simple to do. You just drag, drop, and it's very easy to be able to get images into your emails. And being able to have that thank you and the welcome to the list, thank you for joining and the welcome to the list, is such a wonderful thing for people when they join your list. Another thing you can do here is you can also offer a free gift to people. So it's sort of a carrot for joining your list that you can offer them, and you can put a button in here that allows them to download their free gift. In this case, I think the free gift is a PDF that tells you how to train your dog. It could be anything. It could be an image. It could be a white paper. It could be a tip sheet. It could be a how-to. There's a whole multitude of things. Hey, if you're a service business or a coach, you could put a link there to your free consultation to set up a phone call with you. So there's a multitude of things you can put in your email that are kind of carrots that get people to join your list. And then this way it's provided. And guess what? You don't have to do a darn thing but set the list up and set up the welcome email. And once it's done, it's done. When they subscribe, it's immediate. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning, it doesn't even need to ruffle your dreams. You're good to go. So list growth is really important. I'm going to go ahead and leave this. These forms, the sign-up forms, the form on your website, we talked about embedding those on your website or using the WordPress sign-up form. All of these things are incredibly important to your list's health. They bring new people on and kind of refresh your list with fresh and interested people all of the time. Your welcome email is really important, especially if you have a free gift or a carrot that you are using to get people to sign up or join your email VIP list. And so setting all this stuff is time consuming, but it is so worth it because you're creating a more positive, helpful customer experience that is really going to net you a better nurture flow and more long-term clients or clients that are easier to convert. So I hope you've learned a lot from today's webinar. That's really it. And I don't see any questions at this point. I'm going to leave the question line open for probably 5 or 10 minutes. If you think of something that you would like to ask me, I will type a response back privately to you. Again, you will get a copy of this recording. I'll give it about roughly an hour to an hour and a half, and the recording will appear in your email. Thank you again for attending. If you'd like to attend the webinar on reports and contacts, go to my website at kimbeerseminars.com and look at upcoming events. My website designer was just working on adding March events this afternoon. So if the link isn't there right now, it'll be there momentarily. I think he was in the process of doing that when I started the webinar. So I hope to see you at that webinar. Is the next one, I think, is on the 14th. So we're still a couple of weeks out, but we'll talk about reports and contacts and how to manage your contacts and segment your lists, and then reports about how to look at those and how to think about what those reports mean as far as statistics coming back into your business. So thank you again. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be seeing you down the road on another webinar, I hope. Thanks.